Hey, welcome back. So, today's topic is all about being hyper productive. Now, I own my own business. I also have a full-time job. I'm very active in my church, and there's never a day that I miss my workout. I used to also be a high school soccer coach while juggling all of these other activities, and currently I'm writing a book. It sounds like a lot, right? Well, the magic sauce is how I organize it all. So today, I'm going to give you some tips on what I do to be hyper productive and be able to accomplish all of this without missing deadlines. So the first thing is calendaring. If it's not on my calendar, it does not happen. That is pretty much the magic sauce, and that is what is going to structure my entire day, my entire week. So take time to calendar every single thing that you do throughout the day. That means feeding the dogs, that means working out. Even though I work out every day, it is still on my calendar, and it's there to block that time so that I'm not trying to schedule something in, or I'm not trying to squeeze in a meeting in the morning while I'm still finishing my workout. In fact, those events that are recurring every single day or maybe once a week are super easy to calendar because you can just set it and forget it. You just make them recurring and it blocks it off for you. So I'll give you an example. If I'm having a meeting with somebody and I tell them, hey, I'm going to email you this tomorrow, what I'm going to do is immediately calendar that. I will set a reminder. I will set something on my calendar that says, allow 15 minutes to send this email to the person that I just met with. And also what you want to do in this calendaring is you want to prioritize it. So have it color coordinated by priority. And the reason for that is because you want to be able to be a little flexible. So just because it's in my calendar doesn't mean it gets done. My goal is to finish everything in my calendar, but I know that there's going to be things, there's going to be curveballs, there's going to be something that may stop me, right? Maybe a phone call lasts a little longer than I anticipated. Maybe a meeting lasts a little longer. And that's why we have it color coordinated so that if something doesn't get done, I'm able to push it to the next day or find another empty slot where I can put it. Now, as far as apps go, I like to use an app called Minical. I just love the way that it looks. I love how easy it is. And on an iPhone, I'm able to see a lot more than the iCal standard widget that comes with the iPhone. So I really like Minical. It does connect with most calendars like your Google Calendar, your Apple Calendar, maybe Outlook. I have all of these calendars connected. I use multiple Google accounts. I use iCloud, I use Yahoo, I use Gmail. So all of those do connect with Minical. And it almost kind of works seamlessly with iCal as well. I just like the aesthetic. I just love how easy it is to read when I put that widget on my iPhone. So remember, live by the mantra, if it's not on my calendar, it's not getting done. The second thing that I want to talk about is delegate, delegate, delegate. So I love to live by Tim Ferriss's advice that says, grab a virtual assistant, have somebody that you can delegate certain tasks to, whether it's personal tasks, work tasks, business tasks, whatever that may be, find somebody that can help you. There's virtual assistants almost anywhere that you can find that are specialized in specific tasks. Now, my virtual assistant was a game changer. She handles my emails, so she's able to see all of my emails. She handles my texts from clients. So whenever a client texts my business line, instead of me being the bottleneck for my team, my virtual assistant is able to text back to the client, or if somebody else on my team needs what that client just texted, she's able to relay that and I'm no longer that bottleneck. It frees up so much precious time. Now, if you're considering a virtual assistant, you want to define those tasks you need very, very well. You want to have those honed in and know exactly what it is that you need. So that way, whenever you provide a job description, you're able to find that expert for your task. And again, as I mentioned, you want to look for reliable platforms. I like to use Upwork. I've used Thumbtack in the past, but I've had much more success with Upwork. And then also, train your assistant according to your needs. So whenever you're working with an assistant, you don't want to set them up for failure. Make sure that you have all of your processes recorded, maybe written down as well. You want to be crystal clear so that your virtual assistant can be there to help you and give you your time back. Now, you know how your thoughts just race when you're in the shower and you're not thinking about anything, and that's when you have some of the best ideas. Or maybe you're going on a long walk and you're not thinking about anything, and then all of a sudden a great idea pops up. For me, this happens all the time when I'm in the shower, or maybe even whenever I'm working out during my break. I'll take a quick rest between sets and I'm just sitting there with my mind and my thoughts, and all of a sudden I get a great idea for a YouTube video. And instead of just kind of thinking to myself, I'll write this down later, or I'll think about this later, I will not remember. So what I like to use is something called mind mapping. And so I use an app called MindNode, and I love it because I can immediately create a task. I can create something that just popped in my head. I can create ideas. I can sit down, get on my app and write things down, right? So basically the way that I like to work is it gets in my mind map first. It gets on MindNode, the app that I use, and then it eventually makes it to my schedule. So first it goes to MindNode, and then it goes into my calendar. And so that's where I got the idea about writing a book. I thought, well, heck, I've done a lot of research on a specific topic when it comes to customer service. So I said, why not write a book about this? And my mind just started racing. And instead of stopping my workout in the middle of it, what I did is just started writing things down between my sets. And before you know it, I have this whole idea, this whole mind map, and all of these things that connect to just bring it together into one big topic called customer service. And so my goal is to publish that book by the end of the year. And I'm able to do so because I use an app like MindNode. And so mind mapping is the third point. And then the fourth point here is something that is near and dear to my heart. As I've mentioned, it's fitness. So I think fitness is super important. I think physical fitness is a non-negotiable. I schedule workouts as appointments, and here's how. So like every morning I wake up at 5:15 to 5:30 on most days, and I promise you I am not a morning person. Every time that I wake up, it is an internal battle with myself that says, why am I doing this to myself? But then the best feeling I get out of my whole day is the minute that I finish my workout and I get to work. I don't need my coffee when I start working because my blood is already rushing from the workout. I feel good. I'm ready to get the day going. So whether you are incorporating a 1 hour workout, a 1.5 hour workout, a 30-minute workout, or even a 10-minute workout, just wake up a couple of minutes early and do push-ups, do jumping jacks, whatever it is, get your body moving. That will set you up for success for the rest of the day. And what you want to do, it's very difficult to stay motivated. And you're going to go through moments when you're just not motivated to go through the exercises, but you want to stay committed. It's all about discipline. If you're able to incorporate discipline on this, everything else will be much, much easier. Like I said, every morning I have an internal battle with myself, and my discipline just says, I have to get up. I do not have a choice. And because of that, that's the hardest part of my day. Everything else after that seems like a breeze because waking up in the morning to go work out is not an easy task. And then the fifth thing that I want to talk about is managing large projects. As I mentioned, I started writing a book, but I can't just put a deadline on my book. Instead, what I had to do is break it down. So using the mind map, what I did, I broke it down into different subjects that my book will be broken down into, and then I gave myself timelines for when each section will be done being written. And now that I'm in the editing stage, I am doing basically the same thing and blocking off certain times of the day to edit that book. So break down your large projects into smaller goals, set deadlines for yourself, and keep track of your progress. And then when you do complete a specific task, a specific deadline, if you beat it, celebrate yourself. Take some time to celebrate what you've done, what you've accomplished. And that way you're giving yourself a small reward, so that way you want to continue to complete these goals that you've created for yourself. And then the last thing I want to talk about is creating a healthy work-life balance. So as I mentioned, there is a lot going on in my life between running my business, between having a full-time job, writing a book, being involved in my church, being a husband, and being here for my family also takes a lot of time. So not only do I schedule time for myself and what I want to get accomplished, I schedule time with my family, with my wife. I schedule time to walk my dogs. So things like that. I schedule time for my hobbies, and I take regular breaks. So you will see, even in my calendar, I schedule 15-minute breaks, 1 hour breaks. There was a time in my life where I would not eat because I just didn't have the time to have lunch. And part of that was my own doing. I didn't set that time off where I can take a break and eat, right? So what I would do, I would go through these calls, and between calls I would have 5 minutes and I would just scrounge down on some a protein bar. Anything that I could get a hold of that I could eat on the go, where I'd be driving and just like trying to be eating on the road. That is not ideal, right? So take time for your work-life balance. And so don't only just time block for your work and for your business goals, but rather also for your personal goals. So make sure that you are scheduling that time. Use the calendar apps that you choose, so that way you are able to have a successful, healthy work-life balance, because nobody wants to spend 80 hours working a week, right? Even if it is in your own business, that's just no way to live. Remember, it's not about doing more, but achieving more. With the right strategies, we can all make the most of our time. If you're ready to take control of your day and elevate your productivity, give these tips a try and let me know how they work for you. Until next time, stay productive and keep pushing forward.